So here's the thing, Amazon's Voltron movie might just be one of Hollywood's most secretive projects right now. Filming? Done. Cast? Stacked. But official updates? Practically radio silence. And yet, during San Diego Comic-Con, one of the film's stars, Sterling K. Brown, slipped just enough new details to send the fanbase into overdrive. We're talking Henry Cavill, Rita Ora, and a 48-week post-production schedule that's got everyone wondering, what on earth are they cooking? Today, we're breaking down everything that's been revealed, what it actually means, and why this could be Amazon MGM's next big swing at creating a live-action epic. Or, depending on how things go, one of the boldest experiments in nostalgia-driven filmmaking we've seen in years. So let's jump right in. At San Diego Comic-Con, during the Paradise panel, Sterling K. Brown, yes, the Emmy-winning actor himself, was asked about the Voltron live-action movie. And while he clearly wasn't supposed to say much, he couldn't resist dropping a few juicy details. First, he confirmed that production officially wrapped in May. That's right, filming is done, cameras have stopped rolling, and the movie is now deep in post-production. Directed by Rawson Marshall Thurber, the same guy behind Red Notice and Skyscraper, this Voltron project is being developed by Amazon MGM Studios and will star Brown, Henry Cavill, and Rita Ora. Now, here's where things get really interesting. When pressed on what fans can expect, Brown described the film as heartfelt, big, and bodacious. He called it dynamic and teased Cavill's mysterious role as dreamy. But maybe the most intriguing part of all this was his mention that post-production is taking 48 weeks. If that timeline's accurate, we're talking nearly 11 months of work, which would place the movie's completion around spring 2026. That lines up perfectly with early reports suggesting Voltron is targeting a 2026 release window. But here's the thing, even with that massive timeline, Amazon hasn't confirmed whether it's heading to theaters or straight to streaming, which, considering how big this movie sounds, is kind of wild. If you've noticed, there's something different about how Amazon is handling this one. Normally, when a movie with names like Henry Cavill and Sterling K. Brown finishes shooting, the studio's marketing machine kicks in almost immediately. We start seeing teasers, interviews, maybe even a logo reveal. But with Voltron, it's been the opposite. Total blackout. No teasers, no trailers, no plot synopsis, nothing. Just silence and a few carefully chosen words from the cast. According to Brown, he's not at liberty to talk about it, which is usually Hollywood code for this movie has major spoiler-sensitive stuff. And get this, when asked if he'd return for a sequel, he said, God willing, we'll get the chance to do another one. That's confidence. You don't say that unless the story they're building has legs beyond a single film. Still, it's not clear what roles anyone is actually playing. Fans have speculated that Cavill might be piloting one of the Lions, possibly taking on a leadership role like Keith, but nothing's confirmed. And with the way Thurber tends to build his characters, larger than life, emotional, and cinematic, we might be looking at something that's more grounded and character-driven than anyone expected. So what does all of this mean for Voltron? Let's do some quick math. If post-production really takes 48 weeks, that puts us around April or May 2026 before everything's ready to go. Factor in marketing, final edits, and reshoots if needed, and you're probably looking at a late 2026 release window at best. However, there's a chance Brown was speaking figuratively. Post-production timelines often change depending on how complex the CGI is. And given that this movie involves 5 robotic lions forming a gigantic mech in outer space, yeah, we can safely assume the VFX team has got their work cut out for them. The Voltron universe is one of the most visually demanding franchises to adapt, a mix of space battles, mechanical transformations, and team-driven drama, so that 48-week post-production might actually make sense. Still, it does raise a few questions about Amazon's strategy here. Why announce a star-studded cast, finish shooting, and then just disappear into silence? It could mean one of two things. Either they're being extremely cautious about quality control, which honestly would be refreshing, or the project's facing some internal delays behind the scenes. For now, though, Brown's words suggest confidence, not chaos. If you're new to Voltron, the original animated series from the 80s followed 5 young pilots who commanded robotic lions. When they combined, they formed Voltron, the defender of the universe. It was bold, emotional, and had this unshakable theme of unity, teamwork, found family, and the idea that no one stands alone. Those themes are timeless, and it sounds like that's exactly what the filmmakers are trying to bring into this live-action reboot. In fact, the official Voltron Instagram page recently emphasized found family, which could be a direct nod to how this adaptation updates the original spirit for modern audiences. But even with all that nostalgia, it's worth asking, can Voltron succeed where so many other anime-inspired adaptations have struggled? Netflix tried with Cowboy Bebop. Paramount had their shot with Ghost in the Shell. Both had big budgets, big casts, but didn't quite land emotionally with fans. So now the question becomes, can Amazon MGM Studios break that curse? If they get it right, Voltron could be the next Transformers-level franchise, a mix of heartfelt storytelling and explosive mecha action. If they don't, it risks being another ambitious project that never fully connected. Here's the reality. For all the excitement, there's still a lot we don't know. We don't know who's playing who. We don't know if it's heading to theaters or Prime Video. We don't even know if it's set on Earth or in deep space. But we do know that the studio seems confident in what they've built. Sources close to the production say Amazon MGM wants this to feel epic yet personal, which sounds like a modern blockbuster formula, sure, but it also fits with Thurber's directing style. He's known for balancing spectacle with emotion. Still, that secrecy could backfire if audiences start losing interest before the marketing push even begins. We've seen that happen before. Silence builds intrigue, but it can also cause burnout if fans feel left in the dark too long. So yeah, there's excitement, but also a healthy amount of skepticism. Right now, Voltron is in the thick of post-production. That means the heavy VFX work, editing, sound design, music scoring, the long grind that brings these massive worlds to life. If the reports are accurate, we could get our first teaser trailer around mid-2026 once the CGI is polished enough to show off those robotic lions combining into Voltron. And that's going to be the moment fans are waiting for, because seeing Voltron form for the first time in live action, if they nail that moment, could instantly ignite a wave of hype the same way the Avengers team-up shot did back in 2012. Tone-wise, insiders suggest this movie will lean darker and more grounded, less cartoonish, more cinematic realism. Think Dune or Pacific Rim energy, but with a character-driven emotional core. If that's true, we could be looking at one of the most visually stunning sci-fi films Amazon has ever made. So now the question is, what kind of Voltron do you want to see? Would you rather experience it in theaters, full IMAX sound, mechs roaring, planets exploding, or stream it at home on Prime Video where you can pause and replay every moment? And beyond that, what are you most excited for? The lions? The pilots? The nostalgia? Or are you just curious to see how Henry Cavill fits into all of this? Whatever your take is, let me know in the comments below, because this movie's secrecy might just make the eventual reveal that much sweeter. Until then, stay tuned, because once that first trailer drops, you know we'll be here to break it all down, shot by shot. This is Movie Century, keeping watch on Hollywood's biggest resets, and I'll see you in the next one.